you should see the lightnings and the angels, and the world is shaken, and now he stands before us. No, no. When Jesus rises from the dead, nobody knows that. Even the time is never known when it was. Jesus Christ makes the greatest miracle in heaven and earth just in the grave when nobody sees it amongst people. In the deepest silence, the greatest miracle happens, and he goes out. And only afterwards, when the angels come to take the big stone away and sit there, then the guys who were playing their games, they were shocked. When Jesus Christ rose from the dead, they were playing there or sleeping. And then again, 40 days he remained with the apostles, and he went back to heaven. And then, my friends, look here, till the end of the world, in so many tabernacles of the world, have you ever seen such a silence? He never speaks any word. He is here, substantially, really, fully, as he now reigns in heaven, surrounded by all the saints and the angels. He is here. Silence. What a silence of the tabernacle. And now you understand. It must be the will of God. If he gives us such a lecture, the whole life of Our Lady, one great silence. And she brings us to our Lord, and even a deeper silence. And we do not appreciate silence. If there is a little bit silence in the church during a Mass, we are already bored and take out the rosary or look around. And if we have a silence, we are just don't know what to do with ourselves. This is our world. This is one of the worst things which was made with the new liturgy, the Novus Ordo, he said, that they took out the silence totally. It's just one noise from the beginning to the end. Talking, singing, shaking hands, kissing one another, falling down, lying down, dancing, of course, what you want. But there it must be happening. And if not, the people are bored, they don't know what to do with themselves anymore. And very often, when Novus Ordo people come in our Masses and in the moment of communion silence, and they start to talk to one another, even during the communion, there's nothing to do now. There's nothing happening in this boring liturgy. Oh, my friends, here you see that we are now far, far from a great teaching of our Lord Jesus Christ. Now ask, why is silence so important? Why all this way, which is so different from our ways? Because, as I said in the beginning, the silence is the condition. It is the atmosphere in which your soul starts to breathe and your heart starts to love. Silence is the atmosphere when your eyes get open and start to see, and to fix, and to be amazed about that what they see. You can't say any word when you start suddenly to discover something great. If you would like to see this little tabernacle, and suddenly you look into this silence, you are here. It's not a relic. It's not a dead part of a bone. It's you, my Lord. I meditate about, I read about the words I read in the Bible. You are here. And suddenly I discover when I am silent, his eyes looking into my eyes. And then he starts to speak. The Imitation of Jesus Christ says, God is a God of silence. And you want to hear its voice, in silence you must hear. It's also one of the beautiful words of St. John of the Cross, who asks us to become silent souls. This is a great task for the legionaries of Mary, my friends, because you must give a lot, but you will not give if you will not receive. And you receive only then when you have a silent heart. And you have only a silent heart when you try and you make an effort to get silent. So now, let's finally talk a little bit about the silence you have to practice. It's not so complicated. Silence, if you have appreciated its importance, you must not first say, I must try it. No, you ask, Father, tell me, teach me how to get silent. First of all, well, you must start with the exterior silence. The exterior silence is the easiest one, or for some of you, certainly the most difficult one in the beginning. Keep your teeth together and don't speak. Just that. For many of you, a very beautiful, let me say it, a great resolution is that from now on I will just speak half of that while I speak normally. Well, that's it. Not for everybody, because you are certainly very modest and silent people, but you know, we talk all too much. Now, talk too much means not only, you see, to talk, to open your mouth. You can talk with your hands, and you can write 100 text messages a day. That is breaking silence. That is now up to date. Today, our youth, in a certain way, are much more silent than the Cartesians, because they are sitting before such a thing, and then they don't speak a word. But there is far from silence, because they are occupied with this mobile phone in which they have the whole noise of the world, and they contact all the people. One person said to me, oh Father, I exaggerate a little bit in my text messages. I started because I have 1,003 a month, but I have made it more. I made 3,000 text messages. What? 3,000 text messages a month? This makes 100 a day. This means one which takes you 3 minutes. Oh, I'm very quick, Father. Well, that is 2 minutes. Hey, 200 minutes, which means 3 hours and 20 minutes a day you spend in writing text messages, and other 3 hours to read the others, what the others give you back. This is our youth. This is our life today. Wow. So silence means stop that. Stop what is superficial coming, you know, out of you, which makes noise. You speak, or you speak with your hands, it's the same thing. You must say, it's not necessary. Get back. Reduce it to that what is necessary. So that you have more time, you are free of all this talking and talking else, and talking back and talking back. This is a very important thing. You must make exterior silence. You must have in your life moments where you are completely silent, when you are only occupied with God. Then you must say, now in these moments I have nothing else to do. So I will not, you know, what I hear so often. I come to this place, I start to speak, and the people run out of the church, of the conference. Hello? Just stop it, get it out, fix it, push it out. What do you need that now? No possibility. During the Mass, traditionalists, mobile phone rings, this is the number one. The sermon of the priest is not interesting. The consecration is interesting. My mobile phone calls me, so now I have to answer. Hello? No, stop it. That is not the preference you have to do. You must start here with these things, because we are all children of all times. We are not the servants of this machine, but this machine must be our servant. And I must have the courage to get it out from time to time. And to tell the people, if you want to call me in this moment, and the others, well, I'm not available. You just not work. I have other things to do. So control yourself. This exterior silence means also, not only for the moments of prayer. Look, have a look to your daily duties. And some duties you have to do where you have to get concentrated. You have to take your soul and your heart with that. And these moments, you put this on silent mode, and you close your heart and you try to be concentrated on your duty of state. So that you are not divided into the 20 things which disturb your silence. And especially, my friends, one important thing. When you work, when you have a work to do, please don't have a television or the computer, the radio on, and you wake up and you hear all the time news, music, and other things, and looking at the whole day. Today's families is the computer, the television, the radio running the whole day. It's poison. It kills the silence. This is the first things you have to go back. Please have very strict and very clear understanding about that, what you have to do here. It's very easy to stop it. I don't say you shall never have a correspondence and to talk to people or sending text messages, but control it and reduce it. You can certainly reduce it if you use these things. If you have then know that it's a time to speak and it's time to be silent and not to speak, then you have already made the first victory. The second is that keep attention with the extremes of the day. It's so important what you do at the end and in the beginning of the day. It is the pillars which decide whether you are a soul of silence or not. It's very practical. If you are evening, you're tired, and after you work, and then you sit down, and you call, and you write, and you text messages, and you see, and you look, and you read, and you do 1,000 things, then you will have a troubled night, and 1,000 things come into your mind. You will wake up in the morning, and these 1,000 things will maybe go up. Yesterday I spoke about the famous snooze, when you don't want to stay up, because when you didn't sleep well, it's hard to get up. And if you go to bed too late, because the film was so long, or the text message was so great, so quick, so much, or the telephone call was so incredible, not finishing, then in the morning, difficulty. And when in the morning you start the day, immediately you go into the world with all that patience, no silence. The whole day will be just one trouble. You will not get into silence when you not start in the beginning. So keep attention. During the day, all of you are occupied. You have to talk to people. You cannot be silent as we could be, because you are neither Carthusian monks, neither other religions. You are people living in the world. With all that what the world of today means. But your, let me say, sanctuary is that what you have when you come back home. And this you should not profit. And this is exactly what you have to learn. In the evening, the work is done. I cannot go to bed a little bit, I have a little bit time left. Silence. Stop music, stop mobile phone, stop all occupations. Now, the last minutes of the day is for you, my Lord, or my Marian. And just you get into silence. You try to live like in Nazareth. You are just coming into your room, and you just start to see Our Lady, St. Joseph, our Lord. You spend the last minutes of the day with them. Then you open also maybe a little too tired. No problem. You just read 2 sentences and you're going to sleep. But you have the spirit of silence. In pace ipsum, dormiam et requiescam is the psalm we pray almost every evening. In His peace, in His peace, I go to sleep, I will have my rest. In His peace. So stop all the troubles of the day. Put it in the heart of Jesus. In manus tuas, Domine, commendo spiritu meo. In your hands, my God, I deliver my spirit. I give all what I have, all my troubles. It's now up to you. I need rest now in your heart. And so, in the peace and silence, you try to get asleep. If you try this after 3 months, no, I say I will have 3 weeks, your sleep in the night will be much more calm. Believe it. Even if you have sleepless nights or you have difficulty to sleep, it will be calm. It will be the silence. You will not be troubled by 1,000 things. And if you wake up, you will have immediately in mind before yourself our Lord Jesus Christ, the guardian angel, who is always with you, Our Lady, who smiles to you. And you sleep again. And even, as Father Horal said, if you have only the chance to make a chicken sleep, the chicken sleep is the sleep Like that. And if the chickens wakes up, my Lord, I love you. Oh Mary, you are my mother. It's okay. In the morning, your soul has had rest. You are fresh. You have much more strength. And now the first moments of the day, not lose this peace. Have some time. I would like to have as much as possible. Half an hour. Where you're just occupied with him and her. It's your morning prayer, your morning meditation. Don't let by nothing disturb the peace. Don't start the day with the 6 o'clock informations of Manila broadcasts. Don't start the day with a telephone call. Don't start the day with a I don't know what. Start the day with him and her. Then little by little, if you have the pillars of your life, even in the morning, in the hands of God, in this peace, then the whole day little by little becomes much more peaceful, much more silent. These are very, very simple, but absolutely important things where you have to work on. You know, you legionaries of Mary, I told you, you have to give a lot. If your heart, in the morning, the heart full of God, then you are a legionary. You go to your work. You will do your duty of state with much more fullness of God. This is the peace. This is the silence of your heart. You have to cultivate. Now the day is long. So during the day, please practice the famous 3 minutes. The 3 minutes. What is that? The 3 minutes is, from time to time, just stop. Don't be absorbed to your work. I say to my 93-year-old mother, Mother, please, in the morning after Mass, after breakfast, it's a good time, you go now into the garden. Into our garden, you work in the garden with 93 years. And you take all these things, the potatoes and all that. Oh, my son, I love it. You're right. You love it. It's beautiful to work in the garden with 93 years and to afterwards to pair with the fruits of the garden, the vegetables, the food for the priests. But I say, Mom, please, you are tired at 10 o'clock. It's getting hot. Yes. So you stop it. You go to the church besides, which was our old place where we had our cows and pigs. It's now a beautiful church. So, and you stay there 3 minutes. So I went to it. When I came last week, I was at home, saw my mother for her birthday, and she said, oh, my son, it's great. These 3 minutes are incredible. I come out, I love to work much more, but I'm much more with Our Lady. I go with her into the garden and look, oh Mary, look this flower, this is for you. And so I pray much more, and I'm in much more peace, and I have much more strength. That's it. And you will have that, we have that all the time. Just sometimes stop and go again into the silence. Keep all things out of you. Hide yourself behind a tree if you're outside, or in a toilet if you're somewhere you can go nowhere else, or in your rooms. Close yourself up, and 3 minutes. Just get out everything and silence with your God in your heart. That's a source of immense graces, I grant you. So these are very simple hints to get into this silence. Now I'm already too long, but just to finish this, I spoke only about the exterior silence. There is also an interior silence, and the interior silence and the silence of heart. The silence of our senses is to make silence with your eyes, silence with your ears, silence not only with your mouth. And the silence of the heart is to make silence of your imagination, of your fantasy and all that. This I will explain you afterwards. It's a very important theme, so this morning we will have to speak and to deal with the silence. So please ask Our Lady, oh Mother, you are the Virgin of silence. Let me understand how important the silence is in my life, and make my heart silent and peaceful, so that I can imitate you and find our Lord Jesus Christ. So please now use this free time, meditate about that, and especially if you have finished your meditations, everybody is free. Nobody looks to another. oh Father, this person meditated only 22 minutes and you say 30 minutes. It's not your business. You are here for the retreat to yourself and not for your neighbor. Okay? So, anyway, you have your free time. At 11:30 we are back. But use this time very well. And if you have a free time, say the rosary or whatever you want. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Ghost. Amen. Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with thee. Blessed art thou amongst women, and blessed is the fruit of thy womb, Jesus. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Ghost. Amen.